Hello and welcome. This is Julianne with Life Edit and Design. And today we are talking about weekly planning and how to actually do it effectively. I find that so much of the great stuff that's out there, there's a lot of great helpful tips on weekly planning, but they're not actually effective. They don't actually get you to plan your week in a way that you're moving towards your goals in a way that's more in line with your values and your mission in life. They're more like tactical to-dos, like, okay, I want to go to the gym on this many times. I need to grocery shop here. So it's more to-dos and tactical tasks rather than visionary. Like I said, I wanted to be this kind of person. Well, your weekly review should really be about how well am I becoming this kind of person? And I find that most of the review sessions, the planners out there, they don't really talk about how are you stepping into the identity you want to portray, how in alignment are you, how well you're taking care of yourself in a deeper level. So yes, there's always room for tactical, and there's always room for that type, but I feel like your weekly review should be a little bit broader and a little bit more encompassing. So today, in this very short video, I wanted to kind of wake you up to a different way of doing it and see if it clicks for you. And if it does, great. And if it doesn't, there's one more video that you watched that hopefully will inspire you in some other way. But I wanted you to spend a little time thinking about a different way to approach your weekly planning. So this, I'm going to get myself out of the way. I'm created in Notion, and this is part of my Plan Jam. So if you are on my list and you're going to Plan Jam for the fall, this is the autumn edition that I'm planning right now, but I'm going to do a much deeper dive into this in Plan Jam, and as you can see, it's on day 3. But we're just going to dive into this little section right here in our work today. So let's just look at weekly planning. So if you're going to do this in Notion, just a very high level view, you just need to have a spot for the placeholder for the week. So this is week number 29 that I'm recording this, and I'm doing this on Monday starts. So my reviews would always be on Sunday, and I'd be planning Monday through the following Sunday. So that's what I'm doing here. And these two will make more sense as we dive into it. One thing that I would recommend is that you make this as a template. So this one, because I'm working on Fall Plan Jam, is a fall template. But you want to customize this obviously for yourself. But let's dive in and let's look at what I am talking about so it makes more sense. So again, this is the week, we're in week 29, this is the Monday start, and these two we will come back to. So the first thing you want to look at is your life areas. So what are the areas that are important to you? I've listed here what I think are the most all-encompassing, but obviously tweak these as you would want for your own life. So physical health, right? If you don't have your physical health, nothing else matters because you're in crisis mode. So first thing I always want to look at is my physical health. So what you would do is ask yourself, I have 5 different statements, and you want to ask yourself, well, how well, from a score of 1 to 5, how well do I agree with this statement? So did you manage your energy well? 1 to 5. So you'd give yourself a rating. So last week I did a really good job on it. I gave my body plenty of exercise. I really did that. I had a healthy self-image. So again, we're getting into more of the values. Like, did you actually care about yourself? Did you look in the mirror and like what you saw? Did you feel like the person that you were was the person you wanted to be? And I was pretty proud of myself. Did you eat nutritiously? So again, this isn't subscribing to any particular diet. Just did you eat what you felt was the best that you could eat for your nutrition? We're going to give yourself a 3 there. Didn't do that good. And did you take good care of your body? Meaning, like, did you do the things you needed to do? Did you do pedicures? Did you go in the sauna? Did you just go out and relax? Like, what did you do for your self-care and your physical hygiene? And I did pretty good. I had a good week. So then you would just total it up here. So 15, 19, 22. So out of 25, how well did you do? And that's what you want to give your score for. So in each section, I did it each section the same. I did 5 questions for each section, just so that I'd have this, again, this kind of a simple math to do. So for each one, I have different questions. And again, if you would like this, you can go to Plan Jam, and I'd certainly love to have you. The autumn session that I'm doing right now is a trial run, so it's actually free. So if you want to get into this and get this planner, you can certainly get it in Plan Jam, and I'll put the link below to join it for free. So I have 5 questions here for mental health. And again, so physical health, number 1, mental health, number 2, they're so tied together. So did you feel mostly positive emotions this week? Yeah, I did. I had a good week. Did you practice positive self-talk? I could have done better. Did you know you were worthy? Again, this value, like, did you go through your day actually knowing that you were a worthy person, or did you feel, somehow that you just weren't good enough? You weren't working hard enough. You weren't doing, that dreaded enough word. And I thought I did pretty good. Manage stress well. I thought I did really well. And then positive outlook on life. So you can see these questions are a little bit different. So let's go through again. I don't want to go through all the scoring system, but you're going to go through each question and give yourself a score. But what I want you to look at is where you might do terrible. So let's go to connections. Like, did you seek out people who motivate you? So maybe that was a one. And what you want to do is after you've gone through, so I've got sections for each one. So I've got career, I've got resources, and we'll dive into resources in a second. But look for areas that stand out that you're like, oh, I gave myself a one here. And if you're a Notion user, you can kind of go like this and then give it a color. Like maybe you want to say, hey, this is red. So somewhere where you didn't do as well as you wanted, kind of highlight that, because this is where the weekly planning really comes in. So again, I have career. How well did you bring yourself and your efforts to the career? Resources is something, like you have time, money, and energy. Like those are kind of your three resources. And so again, you've got to give yourself a rating on how well you're using your resources. So I just find that weekly plan doesn't really look at that. They're just looking at, maybe time. How well did you use your time? But they're not really looking at how well did you use your energy. And finances is usually not part of your weekly score. So I wanted you to really think about this in the way that is holistic to your life. But again, it's that values based. And then for the seasons, I have a section that's specific to this autumn season. So again, this is the Plan Jam planner. So these are my autumn questions, and then you would give yourself a rating in the autumn questions. And then down here, I have a table for just more broader satisfaction life scores. So how well did you contribute to the world today or this week? How well did you feel like you were in line with whatever your spirituality is? Your environments, this is your home, your office, the places where you spend your time. How well are those environments supporting and nurturing you? Do you love being in your house? Do you hate being in your house? Is your office space very full of negativity? What's your score for your environments? And then safety and security. Do you feel safe in your life? Safe in your environment, safe with the way that the people that you interact with, the way that you present yourself, and then variety. Like, does your life have some spontaneity? do you actually enjoy and feel alive, or is it way too much routine? So again, you would give yourself a score from 1 to 5, and then down here you would elaborate to why you gave that score. So why was the score so great? Why was the score not so great? And then you write all of that down, and then you go through and you're going to look for those areas. So for me, it's mostly where I score threes. Threes are lower. So fours and fives I'm right on track. If I see a 3, 2, or 1, that's an area I'd want to highlight. And then you're going to go over here and give yourself an overall score. So at the very top, this is an overall score out of 350. So that just happens to be, I have 5 questions for each area. I have 7 areas. And then you'd give yourself a score here for what does that look like out of the 350. So you could see, okay, I got 312 out of 350. I'm doing pretty good. Or I got 200 out of 350. Ooh, there's something going on. So I give you a little bit of a kind of a flag, but then the need to work on, here's just a text field. So as you go through and you're looking for those areas, like, oh, I didn't look for people who inspired me, I would just go up and put a note here. And the reason I'm doing that is so that I'm here, when I'm on the main screen, I can see the things I need to work on. And those are the things you're going to put in your planner. So if you felt like, let's just go back in. So let's look at some of these areas again, they're not so tactical. Like say you knew you were worthy and that score was a 1 and you just didn't really feel good, or you had a terrible self-image, or you didn't have a great outlook on life. Those are the things I want you to put in your planner. So when you look for those 1s, those 2s, and you say, okay, what can I do in this week coming up that will help me feel more worthy? Maybe you need to read a book. Jamie Kern Lima has a book called Worthy. Maybe you need to watch some videos or listen to inspiration. Maybe you need to see a professional on how to do something to uplift your mental image of yourself. So that's the real things that you want to be putting in your weekly review and then putting into your week. So it's not so much go grocery shopping and keep the little people alive. That's great. But what about all the things that keep you alive, that keep your spirit alive? So what are those things for mental health? What are those things for connection? If you're not putting your energy is not going in on your priorities, you didn't focus your best energy on your priorities, well, how do you change that for the week ahead? What are your priorities? And how are you, like, here's enough, did I spend enough time? Meaning, you don't have to spend all your time, but if quality family time for you is maybe 2 to 3 hours of quality time a week, did you get that for the week? And so are you getting enough time and enough energy in your priority areas? If not, that's where the weekly planner really comes into power. Is like, okay, these are the things I said that were important, and these are the things that are not getting my energy, my resources, my time, whatever. That's what you put into your weekly planner. So I think this is just a much more powerful way than just kind of looking at your to-dos and how many to-dos did you do. So I hope this inspires you. Again, I go into much more in depth in this in Plan Jam, which is a whole 3 day virtual retreat on how to set yourself up for a really great fall. But it's always, it's these approaches are always different. They're not your typical plan with me. Let's sit down and write a few plans for the week and let's set a few goals. It's nothing like that. It's very different. So I hope that you will at least stop over, follow the link, and see if it's something that interests you. Again, this very first one that we're doing, the inaugural one, is free so that everybody can come on in and kind of kick the tires. So click the link below and see if it's something for you, and I hope to see you. But either way, I hope that you take a different approach to planning, and your weekly sessions, your Sunday sessions, are really about how did you show up for the week and what can you do to show up even better for yourself in the week that is coming up. So have a great day, and I will talk to you soon.